Hello, I am going to test out my new microphone and tell you a little bit about tarot and what tarot is and what it isn't. Just for fun, I guess. So, yeah, where do I begin? Tarot has been misunderstood for a very long time, and it started as a game for the nobles around the 1400s, 15th century Renaissance period of Italy. And the artwork in the cards are rich in symbolism and Hermeticism, as Hermeticism was big at the time when these games were played, and they weren't originally used as divination, not at first. Now, Hermeticism played a major role in royal courts at the time in England and Scotland, France, and Italy. Philosophy and even the Enlightenment period was rich in Hermetic philosophy. Queen Elizabeth even had her own personal magician, the famous John Dee. Hermeticism influenced philosophy and art, and even the Catholic Church and the King James Bible was influenced by Hermeticism, or Renaissance magic. But tarot didn't actually become a tool for divination until the spiritualism movement at the turn of the century, or last century, if you will, and over the years has shaped into an industry of its own. From panic and fear over its symbolism in a modern lens, to the Cambrian explosion of YouTubers, TikTokers, and spiritual influencers sharing their clickbaits and gifs. But that's all nonsense. Take what you know about tarot and dismiss it, because it's all wrong. Or misguided. I admit it, I read tarot. I enjoy tarot. But is it real? Is tarot real? Yes and no. Let me explain. Tarot only works when you ask the right questions. For example, let's say you apply for a job and you want to know if you're going to get the job. You ask, bro, am I going to get the job? Now, because tarot is not fortune telling, unlike popular belief, I wouldn't phrase the question like that. Instead, you want to read the cards with a different question in mind. Perhaps you ask, how can I better prepare for this potential job opportunity? Do I even want this job? The thing about tarot is you actually know the answer. And that's when you reach inside yourself and you get that answer. Because a lot of people don't know how to do that. And tarot works in symbolisms, like dreams. The brain speaks in symbolisms. It likes patterns and it seeks patterns. When you pull cards, your brain registers the symbols that you gave meaning for. Let's look at some examples. The cards include the 72 cards of major and minor arcana. The major arcana are like the Hierophant, the Emperor, the World, Strength, the Hermit, etc. This represents the person in a significant way, such as a big archetypal theme or lesson, while the minor arcana represents the context of the situation. The minor arcana consists of 4 suits, the pentagrams, or coins, depending on the deck, but they mean the same, and this represents the material world, or your home life, matter. This is the Earth card. Then you have the swords. Now, traditionally, swords are associated with air, but because they are usually action cards and you forge a sword, I personally associate it with fire. And this is about action and power, courage and conflict. The wand, or sometimes the Styx, is associated with air, although, again, traditionally like fire, it comes on like air. This represents communication, creativity, logic, and problem solving. Then there's the cup, or the chalice. There's no confusion here. This is the water card, which is about emotions, intuitions, and relationships. Of course, there's more to it, but that's not the video we're making today. In 1949, psychologist Bertram Forer posted a theory about psychic phenomenon such as astrology, tarot cards, and other forms of divination and parlor tricks. He called it a fallacy of personal validation. It's a common psychological phenomenon where people give high accuracy ratings to descriptions of their personality that are supposedly tailored specifically to them. And in 1956, the term was coined when psychologist Paul Meehl wrote an essay about this phenomenon, calling it the Barnum effect. Technically, tarot reading can be classified as a Barnum effect. And no, tarot readings will not accurately predict your future or tell you about your past life. Anyone who says otherwise is lying or misguided or lucky. But does that mean tarot readings are not valuable? Definitely not. In fact, the Barnum effect is actually an advantage. Remember when I said that when you do or receive a reading, you already know the answer? Well, that's the whole point, and that's why I love it. I don't mean to sound a little fluffy, but we all know the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. For a lot of people, the conscious and subconscious are like neighbors who never met. Tarot cards are the tea my conscious shares with my subconscious. So tarot reading is the loving act of sharing a cup of tea with myself. When you ask the cards, you're asking yourself. The cards are like the middleman, or the focal point, if you will, that guides you to the answer you already know. You just don't know you know. It's the activator of your gut feeling. When you ask your guides, you are the guide. You aren't making predictions or sealing fates. You are simply advising your brain in the language it understands. Tarot readings is not the same as a horoscope, although both are considered part of the Barnum effect. It's a placebo effect, but it's poor to assume the placebo effect is bad. It's an illusion, sure, but illusions aren't meaningless because symbolism and archetypes have meaning. The mind has always used ritual, metaphor, and narrative to understand itself. Tarot is simply one of those tools, a mirror made of symbols. You aren't predicting the future. You're having a structured conversation with yourself. And sometimes that structure is what finally lets the answer surface.